We were having an excessive amount of noise coming from this Garrard turntable going into this PAS Dynaco amplifier. And initially I had thought that it could be the input jacks on this amp, so we hooked another device up to it. As it turns out, it's not the amplifier. We can't demonstrate that or YouTube's going to flag it, but know that the amplifier is working just fine in that Phono 1 and Phono 2 jack. It is in fact these cables, and I had suspected the cables all along. You look at these cables and they've seen better days. It looks like a lot of the plating has come off of it. There's some rust accumulated on there. Looks like somebody's chewed on one of them actually. We're going to open up this turntable, which is a wonderful turntable. And what we're going to do is we're simply going to replace it. We're going to see if there's anything that needs any lubrication and cleaning. And we're going to close it back up. That's all we're going to do here on this Garrard Zero 100S. The first order of business, I don't want to break that stylus. We're going to lock this thing down into position right here. And then there is this lock right here. And that'll hold the tone arm. Okay, that's nice and secure now. There's also a fine maintenance manual that comes with this unit too. There's no reason not to take advantage of the maintenance manual while doing this. If memory serves, I also recall that the automatic mechanism to return the arm back to the starting position after the record ends is also broken. It seems to not want to work, and I have to manually turn the platter to bring it back into that position. Also address that as well. I'm going to have to see that not working and still broken to determine that that's still the case. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the spindle right here like that. Next, I pried up the center disc as shown here from the platter. And while the book references a retaining clip, mine did not have one. And I just had to pull up equal pressure on both sides following the following step, and the turntable came right off with no problem. The pins on the transit screws need to be flipped in such a manner as they can fit through the holes as shown. This needs to be done on these diagonal ones shown here. And the other one that's down here, I haven't done this one yet. Also, these cable retaining clips for the signal and power need to be removed before attempting to raise this out from the case, or it's going to be held in place. The first thing I did raising the platter, which I'm just holding up in the air right now, is remove the RCA cables. They unplugged right there. I could pull them back, I could throw new ones in, and that'll complete that issue. I want to do an inspection on the underside, however, so I'm going to do that as well. I plugged the new cables in. They're actually labeled on the chassis left and right, so you know which channels they go into. I'm looking at the bottom here. Everything seems well lubricated. It never saw much dust. It never really dried out. Everything looks good. I'm a little suspicious of the center wheel here. I think there might be a binding issue here, but it might in fact be up top. So I want to get this platter back down to see what's going on. We're going to follow through some of the mechanism running without any of the other things attached to it and see what we got. There was some debris found here at the base of the platter, and this was also found on the gear that meets some of the mechanics that go towards the auto operations of this unit. I started cleaning this up, and I'm going to clean more of it up. I want to take a look at the bearing. I found that some of that was also down there too, and it could be gumming up the works. I've cleaned up the bearing down there and the gears. I do see some of that debris too. I'm going to have to take a look and see where it actually came from, manually rotating that gear. Not sure what this stuff is, but the platter was definitely riding on it. I'm going to have to clean this up and take a look from the bottom and see if I could figure out what it is. See that the black residue there sitting on that copper washer. It almost looks like it relates to this grease here that went foul. I'm seeing some of it down here. I've already cleared a lot of it out. This is just the residue that's left, but there was like chunks of it in the system. So I've cleared it out, and I'm going to re-oil it instead of greasing it, or maybe put a little lithium there. But that may be it. It may actually be just like grease that's just petrified over the years. I think this unit is from 1976, so it's going on 42 years. It's quite possible. I think we have the mechanism going. Sort of got to work it through while it's on its side. We can see some of the functions here. Everything's cleared out from the gears. Here's the next revolution. We'll put it back in position and try it out. I found that this entire piece up here was binded, and I actually used some REM oil to loosen this mechanism. The whole thing was frozen, and this is part of the auto stop. I further found that this spring was broken. There's a spring that wraps around here and provides this tension here to hold this back. Luckily, I was able to come around with that spring and bend another notch in it, and then just hook it up here instead of over there. And I hope that that suffices. I don't know, but at least the spring works again. It's not just sitting there doing nothing. I have everything lubricated. Things seem to be working okay, but the fact is that when I use the auto functions, the platter slows down and sometimes comes to a stop. There's no more binding, but the fact is the motor's old. The idler wheel is rubber and could be getting tired. It may just not be working anymore. That added resistance is just enough to kill the unit, and that's all there is to it. This is one of those things we might just leave well enough alone and leave this as a manually functioning turntable, call it a day. It'll probably make my wife happy because she doesn't want me breaking this anyway. Let's assemble it and give it a try. I'll put the tone arm back in the lock position before I begin this process. Then I'll be putting these retainers back in the lock position by flipping them sideways. That's what it looks like when it's locked in position again. Now I've got all the center pieces back on the platter. Then I put the retainers back on the back of the unit. It actually has a strobe scope in here. You can see it in the camera, which I find amazing. But it does work. So there it is. We're perfectly set up for speed. We're going to try out a little bit of Kansas on the amplifier. The tubes have warmed up. The preamp is solid state. And the amplifier's tube. I have to do this very YouTube carefully. So there it is. Looks like the record player is finished and ready for service. So that was my brief work on the Garrard Zero 100S turntable. Thanks for watching.